The object of Taxi Chronicles is to allow real riders with real stories share their experience and enhance your life. So sit back and enjoy the journey. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we've got a lovely lady all the way from down under, but she's got the accent of a Stark family from Game of Thrones, for those who love the show. And we're just going to find out what's life like growing up in Australia from, I could say an English point of view, but I'd be wrong, but with an English accent point of view. So nice to have you here today, Gabrielle.
Hello.
So tell us, growing up in Australia with an accent like yours, how did people take to that?
Yeah, so I moved to Australia when I was about 14.
Oh, you moved there when you were 14?
Yeah,
I thought you were born there.
So I was born in England, born in Hull, and then moved to the Gold Coast. Very, very different places.
So just to jump in there, so how does that work? You come home one day and your parents sit you down and they say, we're moving. And you say, what? I had that boy I liked and my best friend. And, no, I hate you. Is that how it went?
Not quite. So my parents had initially moved to Australia when they were a lot younger, when they only had my eldest brother. They were like in their early 20s. Mm-hmm. And they moved over. And just when they, like a couple of months after they moved over, my dad's dad died. And obviously, being back then in the 80s, communication was very difficult. Being on the other side of the world would have felt a lot further away than it does now. So yeah, naturally they wanted to come back and be with their family and everything. But they always, so that was before I was born, but all the time it was always a thing of they always wanted to move back to Australia. So it was always an idea of maybe one day we'll go back. And when we actually went, so that I think the age to get citizenship to move over, I think the age was 35. And then my parents had passed that age, so it was we can't go. And then they raised the age to 45, and then that's when we went. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of always an idea and a collective family dream to be able to move back again. So it didn't come out of nowhere kind of thing at all. I'd wanted it, even though I'd never been there, kind of wanted it alongside, because I guess it was my parents' dream as well.
What would be your advice to somebody who was about your age and moving to Australia?
I think it could probably be the same for moving anywhere at any age. Is just being, you can enjoy the memories of where you're from, but not be pulled back by it too much. Allow yourself to be immersed in where you're going to.
So is that another way of saying don't expect the same standards or the lifestyle where you come from?
Yeah, enjoy the different place for what it is. Yeah, I think you can see that a lot, and I probably play into it a lot as well, but there's a lot of British people who live in Australia, and there can be a lot of complaining that it's not British, and it's yeah, but that's because it's Australia. And we can come back here and have all this stuff, but everywhere you go is going to be different, and you've got to enjoy it for exactly what it is. Because if you're wishing it was somewhere else, it's never going to be that thing, so you're always going to be disappointed.
Maybe it's because people look at it that we colonised this place, so it should be British.
Yeah, it should be more British.
Yeah,
it's obviously very, very British, yeah.
Talking about that, what's the cultural differences you find between Australia and England?
I think there's definitely, it's a lot more laid back in Australia. I even found, coming back to London, I found myself just rushing around a lot more just immediately. And I don't have anywhere to be. I'm on holiday. There's no need for me to rush. But it's when, maybe that's just a city. If I was, in a smaller town, that probably wouldn't apply as much. But
Was that when you come back to London, or when you went back
Come
to
back
home?
to London, yeah.
Because a lot of people find that. I went to, was it Cyprus or somewhere one time, and then as we got on the plane, the plane landed, there's a big, God, we got to get to the front. You got to rush. Where are you rushing into?
Yeah.
And then we kind of let's try and chill, but it doesn't really work. Because any big city where there's money involved,
everyone's got somewhere to be.
You're not going to get all the money or the main money. So I see what you're saying like that. So you felt like you settled in very well to Australia?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was very lucky because obviously I went off with my family, all my brothers, my sister, so it's not as if I moved there alone. You know, it was still like we had our group of our family together. Yeah. You
spoke about the locals and stuff. Did you meet any Aborigines?
Yeah. There's definitely not as many Indigenous people as, you know, colonizer, settler people there. And yeah, the divide is big.
Can you expand on that? So I've never met an Aborigine. I've always been very interested to meet one. I met a Maori guy the other day, and I was very like, hey, tell me about thing. But he seemed more New Zealand than Maori kind of thing. But what are they like? What's the, you know, do you know any on a first name basis?
Yeah, I know people who have like Indigenous descent. I haven't been to any settlements or anything, but yeah, like you have people who like Indigenous descent all around. There's obviously not as many people, unfortunately.
Do they all live on settlements then?
No, not all of them. Like,
so is a settlement equivalent to like a reservation? Like
similar, yeah.
Okay, that's alright. And I heard about there's a rock. Is it Ayers Rock?
Uluru is Uluru. The Indigenous name.
Yeah. Okay, Uluru. What's that? Do you know what that means?
Ooh, I think it literally translates to big rock.
Big rock.
I might be wrong on that though, but I think so.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah, I've never visited it, but I really, really want to. It looks beautiful there.
I'll ask you some stereotypical questions here. Right. Can you throw a boomerang?
No, I've never tried.
You've never tried? You don't own a boomerang? No. That looks like a
Do you think Australians just all have boomerangs in the back pocket?
Just wondering. Because I think I had a boomerang, or someone had a boomerang when I was a child. And I was very fascinated, but they wouldn't throw it because it was a proper wooden one. I think the ones that they used to kill the kangaroos. They throw it in, it hits a kangaroo and comes back or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never even seen one in action, so.
Yeah, stuff like that. Okay, that's good. If you, based on your experience of moving to Australia, you still come back to live in London. Why?
I mean, when I came back to live in London, I just finished uni. Yeah, and I just wanted to live in a big city, and it was easiest for me to come here, obviously, because I already had the citizenship for it. Mm-hmm. And I think moving somewhere young, even though I moved with my family, kind of made it seem easier that you could go and live other places and move around. So that's always been something that I've always been playing with, living in different places, and like it feels maybe not easy, but definitely like achievable to go pack up and live somewhere else.
Okay, that's good. So the future, is it Australia, England, America? Where's the future hold for it?
I have no idea. I think I'm always just going to have like a couple of bases. Right now, obviously, my house is in Australia. I live there. My family's there, so that's probably going to be where I spend a bulk of my time. But then, yeah, like I've got a lot of friends here in London. A lot of people who I always want to come back and see. Yeah, and even coming back here this time, this does more so than up north, where I I moved when I was young and I haven't really been back. That doesn't feel like a home for me, but London does feel like a home for me. LA feels like a home for me as well, like being able to like go to a few different places and spend...
Oh, you lived in LA then?
Yeah, being able to like spend a couple of months in places, that feels, at least for now, I don't know how long that's gonna last, but...
So you're a true digital nomad?
Sort of, yeah.
What was life like in LA for you?
So I really like LA for the... It's a very extreme place. It's a very crazy place.
In what ways?
It's very extreme because you see the wealth divide there is very, very extreme. That's very startling.
Is it more of a divide than you see in Australia? Between, like, say, the colonisers or the settlers and the Aboriginal or Indigenous people?
Yeah, I think that same divide exists in Australia. It's just not everywhere you go in your face as much as it is in LA. In LA, I think probably again because it being more like of a densely populated area, down the same street you can see people who are living in tents and people who are driving $500,000 cars next to them. Like, it's very immediately obvious, the wealth divide.
Okay.
But I think that doesn't really show why anyone would live in LA. But I think the reason why I like LA is because, like, people go to LA because they've got a big dream, and anywhere you go, you can meet people, and they're working on some project and they're creating something, and nothing that you could tell somebody there feels like it'd be out of the bounds of possibility. Like, you could tell someone you want to do the craziest thing and they'd be like, oh yeah, that's cool, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, and it's like, how are you going to do that? But they're generally interested, are they? Yeah, there's a lot of you also get like a lot of people wanting to network and want to look at your IMDb profile and all that weird stuff. But like, profile.
Yeah,
Isn't that the movie?
Yeah, showing you the acting credits and stuff, and it's like, okay.
Well, you wanted to be an actress?
No, I don't. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of people who do and act there. But I just like the energy of anything feels like it's possible, and your dreams can get affirmed quite easily there, which is nice.
Okay, that's really good. That's really something. You sound like you've really enjoyed life.
Yeah. That's the goal, right?
You keep on doing what you're doing, girl. That's what it's all about. Would you, if you had to pick one out of all three,
one place to live,
where would you live and why?
Probably Australia, because my family's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So family, what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like a true
It's
star.
always about people, yeah.
You like Game of Thrones?
I haven't actually seen Game of Thrones.
Oh, but you're laughing like you've seen it before.
No, I know, because I get the references, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. That's good. Well, it's been interesting talking to you. And we wish you well.
Thank you.
In life
Good
to
chat.
come and doing what you're doing. We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day as well as vlogging on our social media channel. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.